Yo, what is up guys? My name is Jax and welcome to our follow-up video on the Switch Up device. Now, personally, I love this thing. It has been a very big help in all of my shiny hunting that I do, whether it's for catching eggs, or hatching eggs, sorry, transferring Pokemon. It's just great for all of those different methods. Now, a few of the things I want to go over today, which I'm going to show you guys. We're going to show you how to auto-hatch eggs, so a bit of a flow on, and you can just set it up however you like. Set it going for overnight if you really wanted to. And then we'll also go through the advanced egg hatching mechanic as well, where we collect all of the eggs, which is what I usually do for streaming on twitch.tv/jax2010, and then basically just hatching them all on stream to see if I get a shiny out of them. So those are the main ones that we're going to go over today. We're also going to go over collecting watts, so being able to generate those. We'll also probably touch on the raid den resetting until we get to a purple beam one, which some people like to do. Honestly, when you get later on in the game, and because of the whole Gmax, like anything can Gmax at the moment sort of thing, it's sort of like, is there much point to it unless you're doing resets for raid dens? No, not really. So anyway, we're going to cut to the footage of the Switch Up device, show you guys a few little tutorials and whatnot, and go from there. Let's do it. Alrighty, so this is our setup, guys. Basically, we have the 3 Nintendo Switches with the 3 Switch Up devices. I know I'm a little bit crazy. Hooked up side by side. As you can see, when we press the Switch Up button, it doesn't work, alright? The reason why it doesn't work is that we haven't turned the Switch on for one, but we also need to connect the controller. So once the Switch goes on, we press the button to connect, which it'll take a little while. Once synced up, we can then press the button to put it into Pokemon mode. So the Pokemon mode is the cyan blue and the yellow lights. So those are the blue and yellow lights that we're looking for. It's the closest button to the system that you want to press to be able to change the modes. It'll automatically switch into the pure white mode, so off position basically, until you set it up again when we reload into the game. Now, back to the actual game itself. So we are sitting here in front of the daycare center. Now, at the moment, I've set up the Milcery hunt. I'm ready to go for Twitch, basically. So, in my Pokemon party, we have our eggs. So, we have prepared over 300 eggs here. So, almost 360 eggs. Now, I've labeled my boxes like that just so I can check back through the stream and see what we've got. Now, basically what we want to do is we want to open up to a box where the Pokemon are going to go. Our select button, so on the Nintendo Switch controller, the Switch Pro controller, which is the one that I'm using, we use the select button. You can connect things like a PS4 controller, Xbox One controller, and there will be similar sort of button positions that you hold down till it does a little vibrate function, and then you can set it in motion. So the button that we want to press, and this one, it doesn't matter if you are sitting on the bike or not, we basically just hold it down till it vibrates, then we press the Y button. Now, it'll go through all the different menu options. You want to make sure that your town map is in the bottom left-hand corner, your options is down in the bottom right-hand corner, and your Pokemon is second from the left, basically. So you need all of those ones in position. Everything else can be wherever you want. We fly automatically to the daycare center. It takes you inside to make sure that you're off of your bike, because then there's no mistakes that are going to happen, basically. That being said, if you have the step counter wrong when we're hatching eggs, that's where it can make a few mistakes, so you do need to be careful with that. But basically, we're just going through, we're collecting eggs, we go into here, and we have a talk. Oh look, they've got an egg. Now every time, that's not guaranteed to have an egg there, but it's very intelligent with the way that it can just exit out of there rather than taking your Pokemon out. There have been scenarios where it has taken my Pokemon out of there, but that's more to do with the egg hatching rather than the egg preparation part. So yeah, basically we're just collecting the eggs like this. We are doing the Masuda method hunting. So few things that you want to make sure of before you enter into all of this is you try and get the Oval Charm, I think it is, and you basically just get that, I think, from defeating one of the trainers in one of the ice cities. So basically you just prepare for that. If you're not sure how to search for those ones, then yeah, just take a look at one of the videos. I think I might even have a video on my channel based on that. If I do, then I'll try and link it as well. Oval Charm really helps. The other thing that you want to prepare for when you're doing egg hatches is a Pokemon with Flame Body or something similar like that. I can't remember the other ability, but the ones that you want to look towards is Volcarona, Colossal, and Centiskorch. They're basically your main three. With Crown Tundra coming out, or already out by the time you guys see this one, then you'll also be looking at things like Magmortar, I believe, and also Talonflame as well from Isle of Armor. So that's all really good, and as you guys can see, as we've been talking, it's very easy to collect the eggs. You can set this going. I found that about like 2.5 hours is usually enough to be able to collect a box, what's that, 10 boxes, so 300 eggs, which is usually, for me, a good amount for the stream, all ready to go, basically. If you leave this on overnight, it will go like, oh yeah, you can't take any more because your boxes are full. If that happens, it happens. You've got to get through all the eggs, and good luck to you. But anyway, we are going to stop this very shortly and then head over to the egg hatching part, which I'll show you guys how to do. Let's do it. Alrighty, next phase is to actually hatch the eggs. Now, we haven't got a full box here. You can do it on non-full boxes of eggs as long as you've completed at least like the top line. That's the main thing that you've got to look for because it uses the auto select function to chuck them in your party and goes diagonal down. Sorry, not diagonal, vertical down. So yeah, basically that's how we collect the eggs. Now, you can do this over multiple boxes. I had someone question today as to like how you select multiple boxes. So when we enter the mode, we go hold the minus, starts vibrating. We press the A button, it'll continually vibrate until we select what eggs to choose. If we press the A button again now, it'll just do this box. If I press the button over to the side, so right to switch boxes, it'll go over to the next box. So now we are hatching 2 boxes worth of eggs, basically. Now I can do that for the whole 330 eggs that I've saved up. It doesn't work as well, obviously, if we don't have the even amount of eggs, because this is set to do a certain amount of step count. Now, when we're going through, it will obviously go through all these settings, make sure it's all correct so it doesn't stuff itself up. But we need to also adjust the egg step count. Now, you can go into Bulbapedia and things like that to be able to check out like what the step count is. And it might be a little bit playing around until you figure out, okay, yeah, this is how many steps. Now, we just hatched a Zigzagoon, or Galarian Zigzagoon, shiny on the channel, which hopefully you guys can check that one out as well. But I have a feeling that Milcery is going to take a little bit longer than Galarian Zigzagoon. So I'm going to up the step count by 2, and we'll just see how that goes. The good thing is that as soon as you go, like as long as you're watching the first one, you'll see how long it takes to hatch. Then we can adjust it from there. You'd rather it go too long than too little, because then you end up with, I'd say like 3, maybe even 4 eggs in your box, but basically just sitting there ready to be hatched because they only take 1 step to hatch. But yeah, you just get that fast sort of thing. So we're going to cut to these eggs hatching and then see what we get. And then we can adjust the step count as we go. Let's do it. There we go. Thought I'd add a Milcery to the screen just to add to the aesthetics of it all. Now, the best thing ever would be if we actually got the shiny. That would be amazing. Alright, so he does have the black eyes, so you will be able to very clearly see whether this is shiny or not. So I will have the controller in hand ready just to switch it down if we do end up going too many steps. Because the only thing that it can really stuff up on is if it goes too much over and ends up talking to the lady in the daycare center, because then it has the potential to take it out, and it can also talk to the sign as well. The sign doesn't stuff it up too much, but sometimes it can do that, which is annoying. All right, another Milcery. I'm just waiting. Like, I would be dumbfounded if a shiny popped up right now. It would be amazing. But anyway, yeah, that's basically how we hatch eggs. Now, I'll show you guys the other method as soon as this one stops, just so I can show you guys as to what happens if there is too many steps. We can just quickly turn it down, and then it's pretty easy from there. All right, so this is our last egg, so we do have enough steps to hatch this thing, which is good. If you don't, then yeah, unfortunately, you just have to up it for the next time. But that's it. You can do it on the fly, which is really cool. I like the fact that you don't have to reset it all again. This thing is quite user-friendly. Alright, so as you guys can see, we have too many steps there. Probably didn't need to turn it down 2, maybe just 1. And we'll see how we go from there. Alright, and then basically what will happen is it'll stop the sequence and it'll be pressing A in the background basically, just continuing on with that until the eggs are done hatching, because it just wants to make sure. And then it'll open the menu because it goes, yep, we are officially done. We'll go back into the box, switches over to selection tool, and puts them into there. Another note is when you're setting this up, make sure that you're on the red selection tool, because otherwise, yeah, things can stuff up from there. But otherwise, it'll fly back over to there, and that's pretty much how it is. All right, so that's the end of the advanced egg hatching tutorial. Now we'll set up the basic one, because the basic is basically you just keep on going. There's nothing you need to do. It's not like you get all the eggs and then you reset it up again to hatch them all. It's just getting and hatching all day long, back and forth, back and forth. So it's very good for like hands-free sort of things. For me, I do 4 screens at the same time, so it works really well in that regard. But anyway, we're going to cut to the basic egg hatching tutorial, and then we'll see how we go from there. Let's do it. Alrighty, so once we finish the eggs as well, forgot to mention, we just press the B button and it'll stop. Otherwise, if we get to the end of the set, we can automatically stop it. So you're able to stop at any time, especially if you make a mistake. Just press that B button and you'll be done. Alright, doesn't look like we got any 6 IVs out of that one, but that's okay. So we got 10 there. So we'll probably just fill up the box with those ones and transfer the rest. So something else that we might go over just very quickly as well is that there is a box release option. Basically, you just press the minus button and then press the down button. So you press minus, down, and then we can select the boxes that we want to transfer. Then you press the A button. Now, don't do this with a multi-tool selected like I have at the moment, because otherwise it won't work. But yeah, otherwise that's pretty much how you do it. Press A as soon as you are through the amount of boxes that you want to do, but just do it at your own risk because yeah, obviously it can be pretty detrimental if you accidentally delete some of your Pokemon. So make sure that you have no Pokemon in there that you would like to get rid of, basically. Also, on that note, make sure that you have all of the boxes filled. I don't think you can transfer eggs from memory, so yeah, that's all good though. Alright, now to the basic tutorial on egg hatching. Let's do it. Alright, so I'm going to switch over to my second switch for the next method, but while we are doing that, I had some leftover Milcery eggs, as you guys would have seen. So we're going to press the minus button till it vibrates to enter it into the mode, and then we press right on the D-pad. So this is going to put us in a continuous circle. We want to make sure that we're not in the way of hitting A into anything to activate dialogue, so make sure you're far enough away from the sign and whatnot. And basically it's just going to keep on spinning us around, and I'm going to come back to that one in a second. I'm going to switch up the switches very quickly, and then we'll go from there as to the next one. Ready? And that worked? That worked. Alright, so basically what we're doing on this one is we have in our party the Morpeko eggs that we want, or the we can just put 6 random mons or 5 random mons in there with obviously our Flame Body Mon up the very front of the party. So basically from here we want to set this in motion. You need to make sure that you are off of your bike when you do this one. You hold down the minus until it enters the mode, and we want a left on the D-pad for this mode. So left on the D-pad sets it in motion. Basically what it's going to do is it's going to go through, change all the options, so make sure that your Switch still has all of the menu items in the same order as like here. So town map, Pokemon, and the options, all of those have to be in the same place. So just make sure that that happens, and then everything else is up to you. Basically, we ride around in circles. It'll make sure that it doesn't run into anything. Over here is the safe spot, so you won't have any Pokemon run into you, which is good. The only time it'll stuff up is if you accidentally enter the wrong mode, or yeah, bait Pokemon across and then start it or something like that. Otherwise, yeah, you're pretty much fine with this one. So it's pretty easy to get going. So basically it'll do a full cycle just to make sure that, okay, the eggs that you're hatching at the moment, just make sure that I clear them out of the party. So at the moment it's just rapidly clicking A. As you can see, we are now hatching our first Morpeko egg. Again, this would be amazing if this was shiny, or even the next egg. You know, that would be great. So what is it? It is not a shiny, unfortunately. Alright, well that's alright. We are happy with just showing off what we can do with this thing. Basically, it'll sit here for a little bit. Again, you can change the step count, and you guys will need to have a look online. It's pretty standard to go somewhere in the middle. And you can always adjust it up or down. And if it's not hatching the eggs before, so like one for each set, then you go, okay, I need to adjust it, and then pretty easy from there. So you might have to restart it or whatnot every now and again, but you just press B to stop it, restart it whenever you want. This is a never-ending chain. So it's not like the boxes where you have like a set amount that we're doing. It is never-ending. You will keep on going until your box is full, basically. And then it'll just stop accepting eggs, and you can't really do anything from there anyway, so that's fine. But basically, we've added a new egg to the party. It will keep on putting it on the next slot down. So as you saw, I would have put that egg, that last one that I got in the third slot down, to make sure that there's no overlap so it doesn't get sent to the PC. And basically, we just keep on collecting and hatching the eggs as we work our way through. It'll fly back to the area, so there is a lot of wasted time. It's not the fastest method, but it is the easiest hands-free method to do. So not bad there. And basically, this is how it works. We ride around again and we hatch another egg. There's not much more to it. So we've gone through both of the egg hatching tutorials there. I might try and switch back very quickly to the first one as soon as this next egg hatches. And then I'll show you guys what we've done on the first switch and see how that goes. Let's do it. All right, our second Morpeko egg is hatching. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go. Alright, unfortunately no shiny there, but you know what? It's okay. It's okay. Alright, so we have got it set at that perfect step count for us, which is great. We've pressed the B button to stop it so that we can move around and just do whatever we want again. And basically we'll just like collect a new egg or whatever we want, really. Alright, so let's switch back to the first switch again. Let's see where we're at. Here we go. Alright, so we are back at the first switch. It's still in the mode, so we're basically going to press A or B to get out of it. Then we press A again, and we're hatching a batch of eggs. It's pretty easy like that. We just continue through hatching the eggs. So this is like a manual version, especially if you only have like a set few eggs and you just want to keep on rolling around in a circle until they eventually hatch. So, yep. All right, last few Milcery eggs. Second one. We'll skip this part now because, yeah, there's no point in me showing you guys, especially if these aren't shiny. And then, yeah, we're into the next part of it. Let's do it. Alrighty, guys. So I've just tried this for the first time. This is a new mode that I haven't really played with yet. But basically, you hold down the minus button to put it in selection mode, then you press the up on the D-pad, and then I guess you just press A, and it will release the Pokemon. And it's pretty easy. So obviously we don't need all of these Milcery as we go. Pretty easy to do it. So especially if you've got Pokemon all over the place, you can sort of just press A to select the ones you want to get rid of. Then you press B to get out of the mode, and then you'll be all good. You can just use it as normal. So that's pretty easy to do as well. Easy. Alright, on to Raid Den Generation of Watts. Let's do it. Alrighty guys, now time for that Raid Den Generation of Watts. So basically we're on the system settings at the moment. Now if you guys haven't already, make sure you set your region to the Americas. Now the reason behind this is that the date and time position, it works better in that scenario. So basically at the moment the date and the time is the 8th month and the 2nd day of the year 2035 apparently. So it doesn't really matter for us. We can stay, I guess we can change that one and we'll change it to the 1st because we can. And I don't think it really matters too much. We can even rewind the date, make it 2020 again. And yeah, we'll set from there. So basically we want to make sure that synchronized clock via internet is off and the date and time listed there. Perfect. Alright, so now that we've set up all of that, we can go back into Pokemon Sword. Now, it's been a while since I've done this, guys, so please forgive me if I forget anything. So basically, we want to go off and find a raid den. So we want to find something that hasn't got a Pokemon already in it, because we want to be able to use the what's it called? Alright, just while I'm here, I'm just going to check my watts. That's my money. So, no, don't want that. This guy will tell us, hey, spend my watts. Alright, so we have 35,000 at the moment. Now, the reason why I want to save up as well is that with the Crown Tundra coming out in a matter of days, basically, we're basically looking to get as much watts as we can for the fossil Pokemon, if that ends up how we will hunt them. But for now, we are going to go over to here, avoid the Vileplume, and Doesn't really matter if you're on your bike or not, but I am going to go over here in front of the den, position myself, and then just basically save the game just in case anything does stuff up along the way. Okay, so this is the tricky part. I need to remember what to do with the button sequence. Alrighty, so the first step, guys, is we interact with the den. We get the 200 watts, and then we're going to put the wishing piece in. Save your adventure so far? Yep. Excellent. Alright, so we are basically ready to go. We're going to hold that minus button again. I think it's the share button and view button on Xbox and PS4. We hold down, then we press the left trigger. So left trigger. There we go. Alright, and it's going to go into the options. So again, make sure that everything's still in the same format. We go down, make sure that all the settings are all the same, and we basically sit here in front of it, and it will start basically going through and generating the watts for us. So it goes through, changes the date and time, or just the date really. There you go, to the second, and then we basically keep on going up from there. So it's going to do the whole month, and then I think it switches the month to something else, and basically keeps on going through like that. So you guys need to remember to not be connected to the internet, because you won't be like talking to other players, and you won't inconvenience other players as well. And I guess there is maybe a potential of getting banned if you do it online, but basically it just keeps on going through this sort of pattern. So you're getting 2,000 watts every single time that you go through this, and this will do it for an infinite amount of time until you basically tell it to stop, and it'll just keep on going. So I think if you max out your watts, which I've left it going on all night one time, and it's like not even maxed out at watts. It got pretty close, to be fair. But yeah, that's pretty much what we're sitting at. So I'm going to leave this one here for a while, store up the watts, and then that will mean that if we are able to hunt the fossils with the watts in the new game, then it'll be awesome. It's also a great opportunity in the Isle of Armor for the stuff that you have to do with honey. That works really well as well for generating all those watts. But otherwise, yeah, this is just an endless cycle of being able to store up as much watts as you want. I can't remember what other things you can get. There's a few money-making schemes, such as if you get the luxury balls for the watts. I can't remember how much it is, but you get a lot of luxury balls, and you can then sell them and then get a lot of money as well, which is really useful. So you basically just keep on doing this. Easy way to make money, easy way to make watts to be able to hunt fossils, which is on to my next point. When we go over to the Digging Bros, and I won't show you guys this one just because I want to keep this one going like it is, but basically all you'll need to do is you hold down the minus button again and you press the right trigger, and what that'll do is it'll just infinitely click A, which for the Digging Bros, that's all you need to do. You basically just sit there, keep on mashing it the whole time, and you could do that all night if you wanted to. And like when I've come back, I've ended up with a ridiculous amount of items. Like, it is stupid. I think I have like 220 dusk stones. You're never going to need that amount of dusk stones, but we have them anyway. So easy things like that to be able to generate, and you get a lot of fossils. When I was hunting for the fossils, I was talking about like, I don't know, 400 fossils in one set basically. So 400 fossils before I even had to reset the game, which is just fantastic. Because it makes it so easy, so easy. But yeah, that's pretty much it for all the different methods. There are a few different ones to be able to like generate watts through the bicycle method. I don't really like them that much. I'd prefer this one. Obviously there are some people that are against it. Totally understand. You don't have to do it. It's just a way that like I can keep up with everything that's going on, because I cannot dedicate that amount of time to Pokemon, unfortunately. With all the editing and the streaming and things that I do, it is very hard to be able to stay on top of all of this. So it is really good to have one of these devices, or in my case, 3, because I'm a little bit nuts. But yeah, that's basically how it is, guys. Thank you so much for watching this update of the Switch Up tutorial. The first video ended up getting over 5,000 views within the first I guess 6 months or so of it being up there, which is really good for me, being a small channel and whatnot. So I thought I'd invest in a bit of a follow-up video to be able to show you guys what it's capable of, because the amount of people that were getting a little bit lost, and hopefully this answers a vast majority of the questions, if not all of them. So thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully we'll see you on twitch.tv/jax2010n. Otherwise, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and yeah, if you want to discuss anything, feel free to head over to the Discord as well, which we will try and chuck down in the description. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you next time. Peace!